And let me cut you right here. This is one thing I want to say to the camera.
Solid.
Is about the metrics. Like people talk about, like you said, like the likes, the followers, the metrics, how much money you made. My challenge to everybody watching this, all my friends that know me, anybody that's tapping in, anybody that supports me, is how many people have you impacted, bro? Like my biggest flex is that there's people in this world right now that tell me on a consistent basis how much I've impacted them and helped shape their mindset and help them reach their goals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the best currency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It don't matter how much money, I could be dead broke. I could have no successes at all. But the people that tell me count day in and day out, like, man, you've changed my life.
Amazing.
Like, man, you're a staple. You're my North Star. I'm striving to be like you.
Amazing.
You've changed my mindset. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I do it for. That's what the music is for. That's what the business is for.
Hey, so you was on JG and J Jonah Blowing Smoke?
Yeah, that's my guys.
Yeah.
They're dope, man. They've to see them. And are we rolling right now, kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do an intro, but I think
this is a better way.
Right?
Actually.
Yeah, I just go straight into it.
Because some people try to stage it too much, and it's like, oh.
Nah,
but JG Jonah, man, they have a dope podcast. They've done some dope things. They've had like really dope people on, just leveraging their connections, and I think it's a beautiful thing to see. It's dope to see them now in LA and making some big moves, man. So I 100% support those guys. You know what I mean? I was on there really early when they were just at the crib, and now they have I think they have two now. They have the production studio in Stockton, and they also have, I think, their own setup they do in Los Angeles now. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, when I was in LA, this was like, oh man, I want to say a couple months ago, I was supposed to link up with JG and J Jonah, my bad. And he was hitting me up. I was like, yo, I'm out here. He was like, yo, let's link up, let's shoot some shit. You know what I mean? And I was like, cool. And I was supposed to go out there to record with an artist out there. And some shit happened, some things happened, and he ended up like flaking. Not J Jonah, I'm talking about the artist that I was supposed to record with.
Yeah.
And it left me in a blank spot. Like I'm talking about, like I had a studio rented out. I had
with nothing
paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was like not a no show necessarily, but he would just give me the runaround. Like he was like, bro, I had to take this test. How long are you gonna be here? I was like, bro, I'm gonna wait till 4. Our shit was booked at 11. I was like, I'll wait till 4. Waited. Nothing. And I was hitting him back like, yo, like what's the update?
That's crazy.
He was like, maybe we could. He's like, just getting results and all this stuff. And then all the while, J Jonah was like,
test.
And J Jonah the whole time he's just like, yo, like it was gonna work. I should have, in hindsight, just hit him up and be like, yo, can you slide? Because he was just like, yo, I'm gonna be done by 12. If you wanted to link up, I should have just told him, yo, come. You know what I'm saying?
Anyways.
And so that would have been something that would have been somewhat worth it. But yeah, shouts out to them, man. I know we're definitely gonna link up to do more stuff.
Yeah, they're dope, bro.
And I'm gonna bring them on. Like they gave me the opportunity to go out there on their platform, showed love, and that was a solid episode. I opened up a lot over there too. And then now, like I told them too, now we got to link up right here to do some shit right here too.
Yes,
or even when we go to LA, like I said, if they're both over there,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's tough with, we've got 3 different parties.
I know.
Trying to get everybody on the same schedule, on the same page for everything.
They're always in different cities. Like, I know Jonah spends a lot of time in Los Angeles more so than JG might be more Northern California. I know their family, so they're moving around a lot. So
He's constantly flying too.
I love it, bro.
Yeah.
I love seeing it, bro. I love seeing the things that we like manifest or the things that we chase, and it starts to become these big deals. Like they're doing the Revolt stuff.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like that's stuff that, a lot of people from where we come from couldn't fathom some of these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
I love it. I love seeing people just do their thing, man.
Yeah, shouts out to Blowing Smoke podcast.
Shout out to Blowing Smoke, for sure,
for sure. But yeah, what's up, everybody? We were just tapping in real quick a little bit, like like I like to start the episodes off just going off the rip. But I got to give you your intro on this one too, bro.
Yes.
First of all, thank you very much for making the trip out here.
Yes.
This weather's been crazy. If y'all don't know, it's been kind of hectic,
insane.
Like literally, I'm talking about if the light goes out, if the power goes out, don't worry. We still rocking with the at least video and audio. You know what I'm saying? But you might not see us, so we rocking with that. But hectic times, and I know, like I said, you blessed me, and it was just like. We were supposed to record. Yeah. Was it Wednesday, Thursday?
I think Wednesday, Thursday,
right?
Same week. Yeah.
But something came up and I had to watch my son.
Yep.
And so I was just like, bro, let's reschedule. And so luckily things lined up like this. Obviously, we would prefer like sunshines and everything right now, but you slid through, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, brother, man.
Yeah. Carlos Bryant.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. And I think what you said is interesting because I think in life, man, like if we always wait for the perfect opportunities, the perfect weather, the perfect, situation, things will never get done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you had a slide. I know you hit me. You're like, you sure you want to come out here in the weather? Because I'm pushing from Stockton up to the Sacramento area, and I'm like, man, I got to do it.
You're like, I'm already on my way.
I'm already on the way.
Bro, I'm talking about like when I was sitting there and I was like, boom, power went out like 2-3 times, and I'm looking outside and I'm like, man, I hope it's like not gonna be an issue because we're gonna rock with it either way.
Of course, yeah, we're gonna make it work. Yeah.
So that's what's solid. But I'm really interested to have you here, and I'm thankful.
Appreciate
that.
And
because I got a bunch of different questions, bro. Obviously, this is our first time meeting up and everything.
Of course, this is real deal. This is not no fake stuff you see pre-scripted. He sent me some questions like, nah, we just.
This is like okay, so
real deal.
I'm interested in a lot of things. So I don't have a specific or one title to put you. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's the first time meeting. So I don't like to tell people like, this is so-and-so, this and so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? But I like to give a bunch of different things. So you tell me what is fair or not. So artist, recording artist, entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
Business owner,
100%.
Visionary.
A little bit of something, I like to talk about it. I think it's cool because I was talking to one of my close friends the other day, and I was telling her that I just like to create. Like whatever I do, I think in life, whether it's music, whether it's beat production, whether it's business ideas, whether it's graphics or graphic design or whatever, even just tinkering with little things.
Yeah.
I like to create, and I feel like I'm full of like joy, happiness, and just grace when I'm creating. If I'm not creating something, then something's wrong.
Right.
So I think that's what I'm been put here on this earth to do is create and then inspire others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's really my thing, man. I've been, and we're gonna go deep into it, and I want to talk about a lot of things.
It's all good. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, 100%, man. I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the episodes you've been doing and like how you've been talking to people, all the crazy theatrical Halloween, and just your personality just seems pretty cool. I had peeped out the hamburger pizza thing. I was like, man, this guy's crazy.
That's a true story, bro.
I know. I was like, man, this guy's going shoot, man.
I mean, you probably, as business owner with the food truck that you got going on, you're probably looking at it like, bro, I should have been there schooling them on to putting them on.
No, it's good. So the thing is too, so we do a lot of, everything we do at our food business is plant-based, and we've extended out to the Los Angeles area now too. So we have a partnership with some brands. We're activating their products in a sense. So, it's cool, you know what I mean? And that's what I gravitate to. Like I always tell people, I have a family full of diabetics, high blood pressure, kidney failure, congestive heart, all these things. So it's like black and brown communities, bro. It's like the food that we've eaten out of like survival are no longer things that we necessarily need to eat as much anymore. Whether that be meat, whether that be too much starches, carbs, you know what I mean? I feel like we kind of overdo it. It's things that we used to have to survive on, right? Yeah. Top ramen, things that were survival foods. That
the sugars is the biggest thing.
Sugars, you know what I'm saying?
Alcohol sugars,
it's crazy. So and nobody's gonna tell you that because it's an industry where these big corporations make millions of dollars.
Right. It's an agenda they got to push, and it's a business and profitable. It's funny that you bring that up too, because there's a reason why I had made that clip and talked about it in comparison to now too, and it falls into, what the podcast is, being hypocritical AF, is that back in the day, I was, that was high school. Very, very little information on health stuff, food, you know what I'm saying? And at that time, it was short thinking, but also, not being financially as stable as we are right now too. So it's kind of like eat what you can get, right? The funny thing with that is I was basically using a reference and clowning on it, being like, this is what the type of shit we used to make on the fly too that we have. It was horrible for you, in hindsight.
It is what it is though.
Yeah, and that moment you're not really thinking of, and at that time, like I said, I'm like 16, 17 years old. I'm just eating whatever I want. Fast forward now, I'm 30 years old. When I turned 21 when I was like 22, I started to develop ulcerative colitis.
Really?
So I have a stomach, it's autoimmune disorder. I've talked about it on the podcast before, but it's an autoimmune disorder where basically what happens is that I get inflammation in the inner lining of my colon based on certain foods that agitate it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I ended up getting UC, and it's like, I've had like 3-4 colonoscopies because they're routine. You have to get it checked because then if you don't get it screened and everything, then you start to get into colon cancer and stuff, But there's certain health foods, like I said, like that you were talking about. There's certain things that will agitate it and will get it inflamed. And if you could take care of it and kind of keep it under wraps, you go into this thing that's called remission. Yeah. So remission is like when you don't have any issues at all,
like
right?
Cancer with cancer.
Exactly. So the irony in that, and the funny thing about that is like I'm talking about all that stuff that I used to eat that you used to make on the fly with everything. Fast forward now, it's like I won't even touch that. Like, I might eat I love pizza. I get a few slices, but I'm not mixing or doing that little stack
gangbanging.
Yeah, it's like I can't do that anymore.
As we get older, I think, and that's one thing I realize I'm extremely blessed to have the opportunity to do some of the things I've done. You know, there's a lot of hard work I've put into products and growing things and music and things, but I think in the big picture is like, man, I'm in a good position where I don't have to I don't have to worry about my next meal as much as other people do.
Right.
So I think, and that leads into my next segue. So me and my team have been talking a lot about like philanthropy work, a lot more. Like I just started a nonprofit in October. I'm trying to do more stuff for like, you know, people that, you know, mental health for, and it's circled around mental health and wellness, you know what I'm
Amazing,
saying?
yeah.
So that's like the thing I want to push. I think that we're not doing that enough. So that's like my new thing, you know what I'm saying? So
that's dope, man. So that on top of a lot of the things you do, that's just another little thing on it, right?
Yeah, man. I'm starting to get, you know, what's crazy is I've been really like delegating and bringing like more of my team into play. I feel like I used to be that guy that like I want to do everything. I feel like I do it the quote unquote best, so I have to do it. But that's not true. That's all in our minds. You know what I mean? If you're a good delegator, a good leader, and you can coach up your team, you'll be good to let people play the role. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's actually right, because we just recently crossed a 2-year mark with the podcast.
Yes, I seen that.
2-year anniversary.
Congratulations
right? So thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's funny because what you're saying is exactly what I've been talking about too. I'm just now getting at that point where it's like, okay, I've done all that not that all that I can necessarily by myself, but I was like, I feel like I've reached the point where it's like I need to develop a team and have a better, you know, people around me that can help and assist with the growth of everything. But also it's like I want to alleviate some of that stress off myself.
Yeah, you have to, because the thing is the consistency of it. I'm gonna move my phone. I hear it buzzing.
Oh, you good? Yeah.
But the consistency of it can be watered down. So say if you and your girl or your son are on vacation or things like that, and you haven't been delegating, the drop off in quality of your product, your brand, your podcast, the editing, when it drops off, people be like, oh man, I must be on vacation or something.
Yeah.
People can see it. Yeah. So you need to like almost have like a mentee or like somebody like walking in your shoes and like bring them on and just see what you can do. Or just use other like Fiverr or any of those sites where you can like delegate some editing.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm also getting on that too, because I do everything that you see with the podcast, whether it be the clips, highlights, and all that stuff. I do all that myself. I do all the editing for everything. So I'm getting actually. I got a lot of people that hit me up too. They're like, "Yo, who does editing?" I'm like, "Bro, that's me." You know, and they were like, "Oh, would you learn this? Would you learn that?" I'm like, "Bro, I learned it on the fly, my guy."
YouTube University.
Yeah, I was like doing this shit just to, you know what I'm saying. But you know, before we started recording, I was telling you about like off air how I built all this stuff. It goes back into that too. So when I started building this and everything, it wasn't like I just woke up one day and was just like, I mean,
yeah, I know,
right?
It's a lot of planning.
It's a lot of planning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like months, bro. Like it took. I was talking about starting one a whole year prior.
Yeah.
And I started. At first, it was like an idea, and then it was like a whole year passed, and I was like, okay, now it's time to really put it into action. So there would have been plenty of time of researching. So whether it be equipment, material, programs, strategizing as far as how am I going to delegate this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to move this? You know what I'm saying? All that was a whole year and plus some change built up, So the editing and stuff, I was learning that way prior to even starting.
Yeah.
So now I got to a point where it's like, it's somewhat, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying
routine.
It's like the big times, you know what I'm saying? But like,
good.
It's good enough that I can start even doing some stuff on the side to help people out too. Because I had a few people that hit me up about doing stuff for their businesses as well.
That's a good plug right there.
Yeah, so I just like that interjection with everything. But again, speaking back to the businesses and the entrepreneurship and the branding and everything too, I want to talk about all the stuff that you got going on,
man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Whatever you got.
Okay, so for starters, I want to talk about the music real quick.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Music is like the core. A lot of people get it kind of twisted. The music's like the staple. It's like the core. But what I realize is like, I think I've grown tired, and I think that only in our communities, the starving artist like thing is like a big thing. Like you have to be like this broke kid chasing this dream until it works. And I've learned, and we'll get right back to what you're saying. I've learned that you can create business, you can create opportunities, you can create freelance opportunities for yourself as you're pursuing a music passion. One of my mentors, mentors, Marcellus, always would tell me like, he was like, man, don't quit your job to make music until your music career is taking up at least 40 hours of your week. If you're just like making songs on a Saturday and then you just chilling with the homies all week and you're saying like you're hustling, you're not there yet. So I had to understand, like, you know, I've worked in the corporate America. I worked at, you know, big size companies and like was just stacking my dough, investing my dough, paying for all my own equipment, whether it be recording equipment, beats, production, music video, you know what I'm saying? And it gave me more of a leverage. So I wasn't in a position as some of the people I do know that are signed or they do it full time, but they don't have the financial backing. And right now you need the financial backing. It's sad to say, but you got to have some kind of way to generate money. So that's just what I wanted to throw in right.
That's true, because in today's society, like in today's day, it's like, man, financial, you know, I think we all, a lot of us, right? We think right away, like we want the financial freedom. We want the backing. I mean, not the backing necessarily, but we want that, just that, I guess that financial freedom to do these things. But it's like, bro, you have a base. You know what I'm saying?
You have to, especially when, you know, it's crazy. A lot of people don't have the privilege to have a big support system either. You know what I mean? Like if you're, you know, responsible for feeding yourself and your family, if you are paying the rent or your mortgage or whatever you got going on, if you don't have that support, which a lot of us don't in this generation, especially with how expensive it is, you got to make it work. You know what I mean? If you do have that support, you know, all power to you, do your thing. You take advantage of your resources. But if you don't, I would say, you know, find a skill that you're good at and like use that skill to help you generate revenue to put back into your music or whatever you're doing, business or anything you're doing. So that's kind of that. But yeah, we can keep going. I'm so sorry. I do these little tangents and these little labyrinths. So,
no, that's me too. I have to stop myself before we go into 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? But I want to go back into the music. So,
go ahead.
So you've been doing music for a minute now, bro.
Yes.
Like I saw a few things that you had put. One of the ones that I like seeing the people like when they post about like their glow up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
oh, that's like that, right?
Yeah, that real. Yeah,
I saw that one when you 2012
to 2022,
2022, a 10-year thing, and I think that's really cool to highlight because. So when you see the numbers 12 to 2022, you're just like, God damn, that's a long time. You know what I'm saying? And so there's two ways people can look at it, and it goes all into perspective. So perspective number one is you could look at it like, man, that's 10 years of straight doing it. You feel me? That's 10 years of grind mode of straight doing it and being consistent enough to even still do it or to want to do it in 2022, right? Yeah. And the other side of that perspective is, man, 10 years, they want to see. They expect to see stadium sold out
the weekend,
right? They want to see you walk out and fucking with all the lights in the thing, right?
Yeah.
But that's what's great about it is that if you don't put that out there, if we don't see that, then you can't get the perspective on it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I love to see those type of things, and you're still doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then I like how you say artists and recording artists. Yeah. You know, to keep those two separate
for
entities.
Sure. And I think I feel like the term like rapper or hip hop artist is so like watered down, and I feel like there's a stigma behind it, unfortunately. And I like to say that I'm an artist and recording artist, and I feel like it's a good thing to walk into certain rooms with. And I don't know. I think people are more inviting to certain things, and I tell them what I do. And I think also having the business background also helps, you know, me push the music, you know. So, but back to that 10-year mark, it's crazy. It's been 10 years and I'm still not where I want to be. Yeah. I was talking to my buddy Adam, I think like this morning or last night, we're talking about appreciating the small wins, man, because that's one of my biggest flaws is just appreciating the small wins. You know, I'm never content. I'm always ready to go on to the next mountain. But sometimes you got to stand at that. When you do get to the top of the mountain, just stand there before you keep climbing into the next. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that's human nature. And I think there's a balance. I think some people celebrate too many of their accomplishments too much. It's just possible. And I think that that also can be bad too. Because I feel like if I do something, and it's a good thing, a goal I had, I celebrate it. Yeah. But if you are that kind of person where you just go out every weekend to just celebrate life, quote unquote, I get it. I get it. But it also, you're releasing that dopamine in your brain all the time. So your brain thinks that every time you walk out the house, you deserve a celebration. But then other people, they're like, man, I've been grinding for 6 months on this goal. We hit it. The sales goal, whatever. Boom, let's take the team out. Let's go do it big. Yeah. And then your brain's like, dang, I like that feeling. Let's keep doing that. Let's keep every 6 months, you know, hitting these metrics and then coming back. Yeah. So I think it's just how you look at it. But that's one thing I've learned about myself. And one of my flaws is I just want to be more celebratory of what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, because I'm always just like, if you talk to any of my friends, anybody I know, they're like, man, that guy is just, crazy, dude. Like crazy. Like I'm just I don't know. I just want to keep going. What's next? Give me
What's
more.
next?
That P Diddy clip where he's like throwing the phone.
Oh, yes, one of my favorite ones.
That's how I be feeling.
Give me more.
Exactly.
And you don't even hang up. He's like, I can do it. What can I do? Man, I feel like that. Yeah, man, that hits so hard to me too. Because everything that so far, I mean, you could tell it's gonna be a great episode because everything that you're saying, I have literally just talked about too.
Yeah.
So like when I did the 100th episode, I said the same exact thing that you said. I was like, Rob, at this point, I was like, I'm learning to celebrate all the wins, no matter.
I seen that. I watched that clip too. Yeah.
I was like, I'm learning more of that because I say we, I mean, like I put like a general thing, right? Whatever niche or a lane that you're in, we in general, we get too focused on numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Understandably
Social media did that too.
Understandably so, and I
Comparison.
get it, right? The metrics and everything, but it's the numbers that we get just too. It's not about the numbers, you know what I mean? It's the impact. I feel like, you know what I mean?
And let me cut you right here. This is one thing I want to say to the camera is about the metrics. Like people talk about, like you said, like the likes, the followers, the metrics, how much money you made. Mm-hmm. My challenge to everybody watching this, all my friends that know me, anybody that's tapping in, anybody that supports me, is how many people have you impacted, bro? Like my biggest flex is that there's people in this world right now that tell me on a consistent basis how much I've impacted them and helped shape their mindset and help them reach their goals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the best currency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it don't matter how much money, I could be dead broke. I could have no successes at all. But the people that tell me count day in and day out, like, man, you've changed my life.
Amazing.
Like, man, you're a staple. You're my North Star. I'm striving to be like you.
Amazing.
You've changed my mindset. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I do it for. That's what the music is for. That's what the business is for. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, it's cool. We all want to make some money and be comfortable.
Right.
But nah, man, like it's for the
impact.
Impact. Like, what's your legacy like? You know what I mean? Do people like you where you from or no? You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Nip.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. I see Nip right there.
Yeah, that's crucial, man. That's big because I think I had just, again, talk about the same thing, but
I know, right?
I just made these clips about, saying like, of course, like there's a revenue, like there's a number, like there's a, financial thing that we want too.
Of course.
But at the same time, it's like how are you measuring success? What metric is it? It doesn't have to be just numbers, analytics, or monetization. Success could be just interactions, growth, things you're learning from, relationships have been built off of things, So I literally was just echoing those same sentiments just last episode. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool and it's good to see that. I'd hear about that I'm just like, man, I hope I'm not the only one that's thinking like that. You know what I'm saying?
There's a community, man. There's a community of like-minded people, just with the same thought process you have. You know what I'm saying? So now you're on the right path, man. And then to go back, I know because we keep going. That's my mindset, man. I might have same slight ADHD. I'll be like, I'll be dabbling. But the art, man, is amazing, bro. I love music. I think music's in an interesting state, though. I think I've been unimpressed with a lot of stuff that's coming out lately. Yeah. And I think it's just content. As I'm growing as a man, I think like some of the things that are being said in our music and stuff, it slaps. It sounds good. Yeah. But just the overall message and some of the things that we're still pushing, I feel like are holding us back. You know what I mean? I don't think that's necessarily, that could be our fault as a people, but I know it's also the music industry's fault. And we know that's run by a higher power that is pushing certain artists more than other artists. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So it's a 2-part thing, but I don't like it though. So that's one thing that has like hurt my heart a lot, is that as I'm growing, the industry seems like it's regressing and it's not growing.
Are you a fan of those like minute and 40-second song? Everything's really fast paced now.
I think as a creative, I think, especially as you're on the come up, because I'm still on the come up. I think you kind of have to play the game to change the game in a sense. I'm not saying compromise on your quality or what you're talking about, but if like the attention span has shifted, you either need to come with a marketing plan that can sustain your longer form content, or you need to make some bite-sized content to kind of reflect what kind of music you want to make. Yeah. Because I feel like you can try and fight against the wave forever, but eventually you grab that surfboard and you got to like ride it for a little bit. Yeah, at least until you got your own like wave to ride, or your own way to navigate the ocean. So I think it's different, because I know the music I grew up listening to, the songs were like 4 or 5 minutes long, like three verses. Yeah, 3 verses. Yeah. Now it's like a verse, but I think it's people are pushing out content faster, and I think that if I was per se to put out an album with 5-minute songs, it probably wouldn't even be listened to all the way. So I think the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
And I think you have to go out there, play the game. Like I said, you become a big name like the Drakes and the Kendrick Lamars, these big guys in the game that now they can probably drop a 8-minute song and people would listen to it straight through.
Yeah, true.
Because they have the viewership and fan. When people don't trust you as a artist, a podcast, or anything, you have to kind of hit them with that short little jab. Boom, boom,
right
boom,
at
boom.
first, yeah.
Little jab, couple jabs. And then when you're ready, you hit them with the haymaker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But these are like these seeds, like the things you post on your social, they're little jabs you're posting up. And then when people, they're like, da-da-dum, then you hit them with the long form on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
So it takes a lot to get somebody to YouTube to watch a full episode.
It does.
On music videos, on podcasts, anything. So you have to, now I think it's about being a good person and having a good persona and building up your personal brand.
Yeah, I mean, even with these, like I don't have the longest episodes, you know? Even if I do one that's like, I don't know, like 50 minutes or something like that. I got even some of my homies that be like, yeah, I'm not done yet. I'm gonna go back and listen to it because they only listen to it in increments. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, that's only a 50-minute one. I'll be listening to like 2-hour podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some that go on for 3, and I'll listen to those too. Some of them, but usually like an hour and 30 is kind of like where the ones I listen to. But like I'll finish that quick, and I'll listen to 2, 3 in a day sometimes. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when I hear like other people tell me like they're like, oh, like I listened to like 20 minutes of it, then I'm gonna come back later or something like that, you know. So it's that time, it's that attention span and everything.
You're coming from a creator's perspective because you're like almost a student of the game, so you're taking it a different way. Yeah, other people, they just don't have the same buy-in to certain things, you know. So it's just how you do it, right? So how you play, and that's what I've learned too. With music and business is marketing is so important. There's a book I'm reading right now called The One-Page Marketing Plan. Really dope book. Okay. Check it out. It will help out anybody, you know, starting a business or even as an artist. It's dope. And it talks a lot about like using every avenue you can, every channel you can to really push your brand in the right light. Making sure you have a target audience. Like if you know that your people that indulge in the podcast are from 24 to 36, they're a certain race or a certain background. You can literally run ads, target stuff, and do things for that community. If you know they're the ones consuming the most, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And as a person, you know, that's running this whole thing, when I do look at the analytics and you get to see, you know, like channel breakdowns or
views, watch time,
and all that stuff, right? But you get to see what exactly they break it down to like a device, what device is being used more, what method mobile, they're watching it for, and everything, you know. So when you do get that, at first, like I'm still, you know, learning this stuff, the analytics and stuff like that. Like I ain't the best at it, you know what I'm saying? But I can see how this data, how much all stuff is data driven, but I can see how much of this stuff is valuable and why they sell a lot of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning that too, y'all, is what I'm trying to say. I'm learning all that stuff, you know? I'm learning. We're getting there.
Yeah, so man, no, but I forgot where we were at, but
the marketing plan.
The marketing plan. Yeah. So and that's one thing I'm taking more serious too. I've been a lot more hesitant, even though I know it's a quick world with social media, but even with my personal, like I have some music I'm working on for the Q1 next year, some videos and things like that. And I've kind of taken my time with it. In 2021, I took an approach where I was dropping like an EP every month. So I was dropping like 2 to 3 songs every month, little mini projects. Color coordinated, black, green, yellow, purple, pink, you know what I mean? And that did pretty well. But now I'm taking a stance like, okay, I put out a lot of music that year. This year, I kind of took a little bit of a break. I get my mind right and understand where I want to come from. And I just don't want to make the same song over and over again. So sometimes I got to like make sure my mental's right. So now I'm going into it with 2023 with marketing plans. Like I've set up a document with me and my videographer. His name is Earn. We set up a document to where we're going to follow it to the T and understand what we're going to do, what shots we need to get, what behind the scenes things we want to run. And then from there, we get all that captured, and then we're going to build out a calendar. So then we know, I know I'm going to drop it February 16th per se. Okay, what am I dropping on the 14th, the 13th, the 10th of January? Yeah, so then now everything's kind of already scheduled out. Like I literally have it. I can use, you know, Metricool, you know what I mean? Or like Sprout Social, one of those scheduling apps. And I can schedule out all my content for those that release, and just, it's already scheduled. The captions are already written, and it's good. And then now, as I'm living my normal day-to-day life, if I hit hiccups, snags, family, whatever, it doesn't matter. That campaign is running. It's going.
Exactly, yeah.
Even if I just tap in at nighttime to answer back to comments on the stuff. So I think we just got to move smarter as creatives. I think that's where I'm just leading is like.
I did, not to cut you off, I'm sorry. I don't know. I haven't been using it as like because I don't know if it's gone away or not. But Instagram Creator Studio.
Yeah,
a lot of my
they have it now.
A lot of my stuff. I was scheduled posts. Scheduled. I'll do it at night and be like, all right, Wednesday's this dropping, Friday this is dropping, and everything was already pre-made. So that way, on the day, it might look like I'm just chilling, right? And I am, but those posts are still going out, and because all those edits and all those highlights and were done at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
But y'all didn't see it. Y'all didn't know. Y'all just think I posted
doing it. Yeah.
But it was like those edits were done, like I said, 1 a.m. Those edits were done at 5 a.m. when I had just woken up off of 4 hours of sleep.
And you want to schedule it
and I want to do it and
not
worry about it. You know, so those are the things. But as of late, I haven't been using it lately because I've been getting a flow, getting into rhythm a lot down better. You know what I'm saying? And now it's a lot more easier. But not just even with that too, but there's so many different social platforms that it's tough to like you really. It's almost damn near like a full-time job, bro. To do all the editing and the highlights and to schedule them and you know what I'm saying. All
try out that Metrical though, because that one you can literally do Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I think like a blog on your website, whatever. And you can segment it to write different variations of the captions on each one. It's pretty interesting. Okay. It's cheap. It's like $30 a month, and it's worth it. It's like I think that everybody should have something like that. I think we all should be. I think what did I don't know if Kanye said it or who said it, and they're like they feel like artists should have CEOs or like I don't even remember that. Yeah. I think he was talking about like Travis Scott should have his own CEO instead of him being signed to a label. He should be a corporation, and I feel like that's how I'm looking at myself. Is like, you know, like Jay-Z has said it. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. Like for real, it's like literally like you have to be your own social media manager, like, and take it seriously, your own publicist, and then make it happen. So that's one of the big things with that. And then like going back to the music, I think just how you relay information. I posted. I don't know if you've seen that we got my first Netflix placement.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was big.
I saw that.
That was big because this year, like literally, I've been just.
That's literally what I was gonna bring up next.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah. So the thing is, I've been like in the trenches, I've been in like the Bat Cave, like Batman, just working on some things, and that was one of the things we had in the pipeline. And I knew about it for the last couple months. We were just waiting for it to hit, and it finally hit, and then we were able to release it. The news, and then people were like overjoyed. A lot of people were hitting me up and stuff like that, and it's dope. And I talk about this all the time. I'm on podcasts. I tell my friends all about it. It's like I try my best to not get caught up in that validation from others, because you got like, I think we got like almost 1,000 likes on that picture. You know what I mean? Like people were like hitting me up, calling me friends, and I appreciate it so much. I'm not saying I don't appreciate it, but I try to stay neutral because it's like there's gonna be a day where I'm like really big time, and I drop an album and it's gonna be 1,000 comments, people saying this is trash. What am I gonna do then? Am I gonna melt down? You know what I mean? So it's like when, you know, and I've said it before, but when you're getting the praises, you got to stay neutral. You can't get too high on that. Because then the day that those praises turns into, you know, oh man, this is trash, or it could have been better, then you're going to be all depressed, or you're going to let it get. So you got to kind of like.
I know if, you know what I'm saying? In that thing, that bubble too.
So, that's
you know, I want to go back to what you said about taking a break and everything and the importance in that, because I remember when I had Tessie on, she said, how she likes to, where she's at right now, she was saying that it's important to live a little. Like she dropped 2 EPs and then took a little break before dropping this one. She said this most recent album, which was her debut one, she said it was like 3 years in the making, because she said she felt it was important to take that time to actually live. And to get experience, because that's the music better. That's where her music's coming from, you know. And so that's the I guess like the side A to side B to a lot of things is that side A might be like you constantly have to push out every single week. You know what I'm saying? And side B might be like, but I need to. What am I supposed to put music out of if there's no feeling? What am I experiencing? So what is going on?
Let's look at some of the biggest artists in the game. You know what I mean? I don't like to talk bad about anybody, but some of the biggest artists in the game that are dropping like 20 song projects every 3 months. A lot of their songs sound so similar. If you switch songs onto a different album of theirs, it would still sound like it fit on there because it just sounds so similar, because they're dropping so rapidly. And I think some of the artists that do take their time, the music is better. But then you got to remember, you got to at least get to that point where people care enough for you to take your time. So I think that's why what Russell's doing. He's dropping so much stuff. And then now he's like becoming a household name. And there'll probably be a point where he can kind of like chill a little more to build an album. But right now he's built a system that makes sense, and he's just like regurgitating the same dope songs and in different ways, live performances and things like that.
He's supposed to be doing he's supposed to be having the collab project joint with Russ.
That's dope.
That's supposed to be coming out, I think, next year. Don't quote me in it, but
it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, like that's the one that's not even out yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to break news or anything, but he had already said it on a previous interview. He was just saying like that's still like in the works. I think projected to come out next year. So maybe that is that one that that's gonna be more of the filling and everything.
Yeah,
you know, 100%. Or that build up for it too.
Yeah,
you know,
it's amazing, bro, because he's doing some crazy things. And so trickling back, I keep trying to figure out where we at. But
all music.
Yeah, just all music.
Yeah.
So music's amazing. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing and make sure that I just keep hitting the nail on that, nail with the hammer, driving it home and being consistent.
Yeah.
Being truthful, being honest in my music and my approach, making sure that I'm speaking on things that matter to me and things that I believe in. I think that's maybe one of my greatest blessings and one of my greatest downfalls, because I can't just pump out just randomness. You know what I mean? I have to, everything I talk about in my songs are things that like really resonate with me. And they're things that I feel comfortable sharing. I like to, I write all my own music. I made it a point. I tell a story too. When I was younger, I had a manager that like wrote like 4 bars on like an outro, like some light. And I like took his words. I said them in the recording, and it was something that bothered me so much that we ended up having to like scrap the song, go re-record it, and I had to rewrite that portion because I just didn't. And from that, and I was like 16, but from that day on, I realized that like I have this belief, and some people might think it's stubborn, but I'm like, if the song's good, I want it to be good because, I put my heart, my soul, my lyrics into it. If it's bad, I want it to be bad because I just didn't perform, I guess, as good as a lyricist or as a songwriter on it. Now, I don't want to ever feel like I had 10 writers help me on a song and it didn't do well. Now I'm blaming these other people why I didn't do. I need all the accountability.
You want all that smoke.
Yeah. Give me all the smoke, man. Yeah. Give me all the smoke.
Good or bad, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a blessing. Music's amazing. A lot of people are killing it right now.
Yeah, for real. There's a lot
even
of even
locally, man.
Locally, yeah, exactly. Right here too. There's like I got a bunch of homies of mine that make music too and everything, and it's like I like how. So this might you tell me what you think about this. I like how they're not just they're focusing on music, but they're doing other things outside of music that'll benefit them in the long run. Yeah. Right. So at first, I don't know. Like if you might look at it a bit like, oh, if you're not focused on it 100%, what are you doing?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So you can look at it like that. But yeah, that's to say. So until they're doing other things that'll culminate that in the long run to make them both lined up better. So like, how do you feel about that?
I think that's literally my testament of life. You know what I mean? That's how I'm living. 100%. Who's the dopest out here right now?
In SAC?
Yeah, who do you like?
I mean, it depends on who.
I like Jay Cyrus.
Yeah, he just performed in damn, what was it? Damn. Fuck, what was it? I was supposed to pull up. Yeah, Jay Cyrus is solid.
He's dope, bro.
I've talked about him a few times, yeah.
and I've been in the studio with him, how he conducts the room, man. He's like a real arranger, producer. Like even when he's not on the boards per se, he's in the back, like, okay, add this here, add this melody. He's a like genius though. So I like him a lot, bro.
Yeah, he's solid. I mean, it's his preference. Like me, I like bars. You feel me? Like I like bars. So if you ask me, I'll say someone like C+.
Okay, C+ is dope.
Yeah,
he's been around a long time.
He's been around a long time. Same with Nash Boogie, same thing. Like I like bars and they hit different. You know what I'm saying?
C+
so
is hard.
There's a lot of different artists. Even my homie Will, he's not necessarily from Sacramento, originally from St. Louis, but he's out here. He's making music. He just started a podcast, his own BZ podcast. I was gonna try to come on. He was gonna be here too to just to kick it and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we didn't know the fucking
the
way. You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? We didn't know it was gonna be like this because some power just shit like that too.
No, it's fine.
But yeah. So up here, there's a few solid people, but I like how they're venturing off a bit to expanding more, but still sticking with the music. Because like I said, in today's day and age, I mean, it's. I mean, you got people like YouTubers, TikTokers doing gamers now too, you feel me, getting bags. So it's like it's tough to still stay in one lane and not venture out and do a bunch of different things. You know what I'm saying?
These YouTubers are hopping into the music lane too and killing it.
Boxing now too and everything. You feel me? So it's like
somebody like what's his name, DDG or whatever. Like
DDG, yeah,
like just super YouTuber, and all of a sudden it's like dropping.
He's the one that's with Chloe Bailey, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Or his sister Haley. No, not Chloe. Her sister
Haley.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's dope because it's like to see yourself like transition and grow into these new positions based off of your core skill.
Yes.
So if your core skill is podcasting and now you're in like a movie or something off of this.
Oh, I did. So I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it to come out. I did a little short with the homie Yuli and Don. We did this little acting thing. So dope. I don't know if it's out yet. So I'm waiting.
Yeah, we need to check.
I want to see it. I want to see it. I played a role, but yeah, I'm doing that type of stuff, and I'm trying to venture out myself too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even get in the food industry too.
Yeah, man. Let me know. I'm an open book. If you ever need any game,
I want to. Yeah. Maybe and food trucks specifically, which is a good segue we can talk about.
Yeah, this is a good point. The food truck, man, it's dope. The food truck is really dope.
How did this come about anyway? Like,
I remember coming home from work one day and talking to a couple of my close friends that are now my business partners and telling them like, man, like we can do this. I don't know, randomly. Like I've never had culinary training. I've never really been super interested in cooking.
Yeah.
But we wanted to start a food truck. And the funny thing is like, to be honest, we thought it would be this cash grab. Like we're going to go and just make a bunch of money. So we hop in the game, fast forward. And then we transitioned. One day I was watching a podcast, Dave Never Sleeps.
I never seen it.
So Dave Never Sleeps podcast. He had Pinky Cole on there. That is a restaurant in Atlanta called Slutty Vegan. It's a big.
I know that one. Yeah,
massive. So
I've been to Atlanta a few times.
So anyway, so she was talking on there, and she was talking about how she had so many problems with her business before she. It's like she was vegetarian, but she owned the jerk chicken spot. So like she was like not even really eating her food, but just selling it for a profit.
Yeah,
I feel like I was in that same boat where I was teetering on vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, whatever. But it was a traditional taco truck we started off with, which is, traditional asada, chicken, pastor, things like that, right?
Birria tacos and stuff.
Yeah. So that's how it was. And then there was a day where I think just in the middle of like the week, we like shut down. I told the team how I was feeling, and we transitioned it to like fully vegan. I did a deep clean and went fully vegan with the food truck.
But it wasn't a rebranding though, was it?
No, it's the same brand, but we let our fan base know that we were changing the vegan.
Gotcha.
A lot of people were upset about it. Some people, we gained a lot of viewership from a lot of different people, but now we're approaching almost 2 years since that point.
Yeah, and
the things we've been able to do, like we're working with, and I'm not trying to flex, but, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. But we're working with like billion-dollar companies in the vegan space, and they're working with us to activate their brand. Like I said, at different events, we just did something down in Indio down by Coachella Valley. Hoping to do Coachella. You know what I mean? And
that'd be cool.
That'd
be solid.
So different stuff. So to work with a different brand, but also sell our own food from our brand. So I think when you walk into your purpose and you do something you're passionate about, it actually works out. I think the work gets easier. Like I don't mind putting in, I don't mind doing an 80-hour week on something that's aligned with my belief system.
Yeah.
But when something's not, if I'm just trying to make profit on something I don't really believe in,
short term,
you don't really, you'll get phased out and you won't put in that quality of work. Well, let's think about it. Say you're a health nut. You hit the gym 5-6 days a week. You don't believe in people eating a keto diet or something, right?
Okay, yeah.
But then you're selling like a keto meal plan or something, or you're doing something. So like you're making money off it, but in your heart, you don't have enough like enthusiasm and passion to really like make sure it succeeds. And now with this truck being vegan, I'm vegan as well. So it aligns with what I believe in, and it makes me want to go that much harder on it because I believe in this. I really believe in this product. So we've been able to like work with a lot of brands, do a lot of catering, corporate catering, and we're just growing. Our revenue keeps growing year after year. Of course, we're not rich. Of course not. You know what I'm saying? We're still hitting not yet. But I just want to be transparent because we're still bumping our heads. We're still having the day-to-day issues that every business owner will have until
Yeah,
of course. So now we are just more prepared, more experienced.
Yeah. And y'all are based out of Stockton?
Based out of Stockton. We come down here sometimes. Right now, though, it's been kind of ugly this winter. But we're usually like, we'll go to like Saks, like Oak Park. We're like over there where 3400 Broadway. They've done a lot of like renovation. There's like a Slim and Huskies. There's Fixins over there. And we're parked over there. We're looking at bringing like either a restaurant space or a food truck over by Sac State. I think that's a prime location. A lot of the people in the college space are really in tune with the kind of food we're serving. So that's kind of where we want to like pivot to. And that's something I'm exploring, and hopefully opening up a restaurant in Los Angeles as well. So that's something we're like working on, still ironing out the kinks on it, but it's going to come together hopefully, if not by the end of next year, the beginning of 2024. So that's like where my mind's at right now. Building that, and that's like my baby. That's like, man, like, dude,
shit,
man,
well,
every day.
That's, well, for one, that's definitely, I would love to be a part, like to help out. If there's anything I can do with or help you, dude, I would love to be, because that sounds fire. I ain't gonna lie.
Don't have you come down. I want you to come down and do like a review on the food.
I want to, Matter of fact,
I should have brought you some food today.
I'm about to, hey, you should have. I haven't ate.
I'll bring you some. One time we'll do it.
The name, I don't want to mess it up. Las Mias?
Las Maris.
Las Maris.
So Las Maris. So it's funny because me and my business partners, so Brett, Andre are my core business partners. Me and my business partner, Brett, his wife, his name is Maria. My fiance's name is Madi Cruz. And then my buddy's wife that I'm talking about, her mom is named Maricela. So it's the Madis, you know what I mean? So like when we first started, they're like the, you know what I mean? You know, they're all from Jalisco, like Guadalajara, you know what I'm saying? So they give us a lot of the, I always tell people they a lot of the flavors, a lot of the recipes, the agua frescas, how they taste. That's a lot of it is them. They just kind of adapted to like even transitioning into like a vegan sense and making it still taste good. So it's legit. Like it's legit food. Okay. It's not Chipotle. This is a real deal.
It's
you know
a real deal.
Yeah. It's meatless though. So it's just a different thing. And a lot of people, they don't even really know. Like if I gave you a chicken taco from our joint, you'd be like,
you wouldn't even tell the
difference. You think it's like it's real chicken taco. You know what I mean? So
I have it'd be good. I mean, we could talk about it more off air and everything, but there's I think there's definitely something in the work in the future for potentially collaborations. I want to do I'm going to shoot another live podcast and at a place and have a lot of people over. Yeah. And man, that'd be a good, if you're down to slide through.
Oh, of course, man.
That'd be a great thing. You know what I mean?
I can cater to the whole event or something. Yeah.
That'd be a good thing. Okay. So there's something like that in the future. But so the truck itself, so like partnering up with that and everything, right?
Yes.
So at its, you tell me. Obviously, I don't know anything about the food industry, but at its core, what makes like the business a business when it comes to having that food truck and it being vegan? What's the core of that?
In what manner? What do you mean?
Like I would say, do you think it's more the food itself, focusing on the actual like what you're serving, or you think it's more so of like, all right, business wise, how do we get it to upscale and get it to this other levels?
So I think there's 3 frontiers, right? I think your food has to be good, of course. Yeah. But I also think that your aesthetic and your marketing has to be kind of top tier, and you have to kind of stand out in the industry. Yeah. And then also your business mindset. I think there's a lot of people in this world that make incredible food. Like they can sell, like make the best food ever, the best pizza, burgers, tamales, whatever. But they don't have a business mindset to understand when market trends change, when produce or product is rising, how to strategically stay in a profitable margin without having to raise your prices to crazy. What can I do? How can what specials can I run? What brands can I partner with? There's a lot that goes into it. Yeah. And I understand that now because now I talk to heads of marketing, the directors of marketing of these big $1 billion companies. And I have to like pitch my business to them and tell them how we can help them or how they can help us or vice versa. And I realized that you have to have a somebody with a mouthpiece on the squad. Like,
that's true.
You can be the best at anything, but if you don't have the communication skills to relay what you're doing, talk about your KPIs, your metrics, the ROI people will get from eating your food or coming to work with you, then you're kind of lost in the sauce. So that's kind of like what it takes. And I think I have the perfect blend of it. My partner, Andre, he's a super like guru when it comes to food. Like he's worked in like every food joint GM status. Like he's worked like high level of like almost every restaurant, every fast food joint.
Amazing.
He's like a killer. So he's like ahead of the innovation and like the food quality. My other business partner, Brett, he's more so of an operations guy, day-to-day decisions maker. I would say that I land more into like I take care of some of those day-to-day as well. And I kind of manage the LA functionality a lot more. And I'm kind of the head, like I guess CMO or like the chief of the marketing. You know what I mean? Like I really like, that's what I love is like,
that's what you thrive on.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. Sure.
I love marketing. I love social media. I love like seeing the new trends and seeing how I can like put a spin on it.
Nice.
So we just brought on an accounts manager as well, which is pretty dope. So now we have an accounts manager and she's in charge of like right now she's working on a deal. Hopefully by the time this airs, it'll have come to light, but we're working on like doing some corporate catering for Netflix.
Nice.
Like PayPal, Twitter, Facebook, everything in the Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Like she's kind of
Menlo
like
Park area?
Yeah, Menlo Park area. So she's taking care of like initiating those relationships and then facilitating like, you know, partnerships, like whether it be like us coming out a couple times a year to feed their staff or whatever, like Sac State, UC Merced, Stan State, any college, UC Davis.
Yeah.
So she's taking care of all that. So that's kind of my team right there. It's kind of the four of us.
See, the core, I mean, the key on that is that when we go back to the beginning of the episode is talking about a team.
Yeah.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
It's crucial. So having that team and
I'm just learning, I'm learning like they're watching this and they know how I am. Like I'm the kind of person where like I'll just start doing things, even though like somebody else is supposed to do them. I want to give them a chance to do it. I just kind of like take the rug under them and try to take it for myself. But I've learned that you got to delegate. And even if somebody does something 80% of what you might have done 100%, the stress of having to do everything was going to break you.
Oh yeah, the back end of it.
Yeah, just let it go. Like let it go. Somebody makes a mistake in something, or how are they going to learn if they don't make mistakes? So
yeah, I mean, to equate it to something like maybe be more familiar with someone, it'd be the equivalency to like a DIY home project versus hiring a contractor, right? So sometimes a DIY might save you money, right? Yeah. But the time it's going to take you to do everything. Yeah. The stress you might have to, trips you might have to, you know, as opposed to you hire someone to do something, you're just like, hey, this is it, boom, boom, and it's all done, you know? So that's like one way to kind of, you know, measure it as well too.
Yeah. So that's with the food business, because that's a good point. But with the food business, I think that's where we sit. And I'm excited about the growth. I think we ended this year strong, even though we had a couple of hiccups. We had like, in the food truck industry, it's crazy. Truck breakdowns and, you know, you got to change this and propane tank, you know, whatever, your water heaters, not whatever it is. There's so many, it's like a kitchen, you know, and you're using it so much more than a typical, like, you know, you go in your kitchen maybe once or twice a day.
Yeah.
So imagine if you're in your kitchen every day for like 8 hours a day, how like many appliances would start messing up on you, how many like things will start messing up because you're using it so much.
That's true.
So I've learned a lot there, and it's ups and downs, roller coasters, ups and downs. And I always tell people, like, there's moments in business where you'll be up $50,000, $20,000, $10,000, whatever it is. And there's moments you're down the same equivalent amount. Yeah. And I think one of my biggest skill sets is walking into the room, no matter if I'm good or bad financially, or if I'm good or bad with whatever's going on in my life, and I still can have a smile, be respectful, and talk to people with like kindness. Yeah. A lot of people, when they're like, their ship's sinking a little bit. They treating everybody like crazy. I'm like,
they're letting it reflect on them. Whatever's, it's like a projecting, right? You're projecting whatever's going on.
Because I said that before. You got staff, so when I talk to my employees, my team, they are looking to me for guidance. They're looking at me for, like I said, impact earlier. Yeah, they're looking for me for how I act in the situations under pressure, because they feed off of that. Yeah, and if they see I'm cool as a cucumber when I navigate through these situations, they're like, man, this guy's like, he's not just preaching these things, he actually lives these things.
Yeah. And it's also comfort, right? You probably give them a comfortability to be like, I want to continue to be here and everything too. Because if he's cool, in the background, you ever see that meme, that SpongeBob meme where it's like the flames in the back? But he's just like, so in the background, it might be like that. But as long as you're cool, it's infectious to them as well, you know?
Because if not, they're like, I don't want to work here, or I don't want to work on this team. They get they lose faith in the team. You know what I mean? The team aspect. Exactly. Because they see it's like kind of fictitious. Like, dang, this guy's like, this guy's like kind of stressed out. You know, we've all had bosses that are stressed out and they're yelling. Nobody likes that energy, man.
You know what I'm thinking about right now? You know what would be a good thing you should consider? Actually, speaking about being in LA and having a food truck. Yes. So there's a podcast. Well, there's this guy, I'll tell you about it off air and everything. But so what they do is they have a show. It's a YouTube show. It's called Food Truck Diaries.
Oh, that's dope.
Have you heard about it?
No.
So what he does basically, there's his name is Brendan Schaub. I don't know if you know who he is or not, but he's a podcaster, comedian / former MMA fighter, former football player. And so what he does is he interviews fighters, but he takes them on to food trucks in LA. So he'll hit up local food trucks and he rotates them out, or he'll have he'll do like a reach out. His team will. And what they'll do is they'll go to the food truck, they'll order food, and then he'll interview the fighters while they're eating their food.
That's dope.
So that'd be a good opportunity for you guys.
That'd be dope. Yeah. 100%. I'll get the information from that after. Yeah.
It's dope. In LA, and maybe even up here too. You know, like I said, we're gonna be doing. I want to do more lives. So far I've only done one. I was supposed to do one last month, but I dropped the ball on that one. That was on me. I didn't plan everything accordingly, so I had to reschedule it. But like I said, stuff like that too in the future. Businesses and events that go up here too. A bunch of my homies, they want to do things like fundraisers, giveaways, dope. And stuff like that. Yeah. That'd be a good thing to you know.
I'm always down to integrate whatever. I'm down. We're working with sidebar. We're working with PETA. That's one of the people that have been working with the truck. In February, we're gonna feed, I think, anywhere from 100 to 300.
Bring this a little more closer.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, you good?
We're gonna feed anywhere from 100 to 300 kids in Southside Stockton.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a food desert out there. It's like an area where there's no grocery stores. People just people go to Dollar Trees or liquor stores to buy their groceries and stuff. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go out there and just feed some people for free. You know what I mean? And
amazing.
So that's some of the things I'm looking at doing. And I think that's gonna help. Because I don't like to share the things I do positively for people. I don't think I like to share some of the accolades I've had this year. I haven't talked about some of the bad times I've had this year. I don't really talk about because I feel like I be just trying to live in the moment, bro. Like I don't be some people just be the validation thing's crazy.
Yeah, because they look in that social validation more than anything.
No, and everything I do is or I post. Hopefully it's just for motivational purposes. I'm never trying to stunt or think I'm better than anybody because I'm not. We're all the same. You know what I mean? My new slogan is how much more praise y'all need? Question mark.
That's a bar. It
is a bar. That's a bar off my new single actually.
Okay.
It's called Drive. It's gonna be coming out next year. But it's like how much more praise y'all need. My boy Oscar knows what I'm talking about. How much more praise y'all need? Because it's what do you need? I'm okay with the coach mentality, right? If we're a team and I'm the coach, if the team loses, they blame the coach always.
Yeah.
When the team wins, it's LeBron or the players, right? That's how I live my life. If we win, it was because my team was on point.
Yeah.
I might have had a little plan here and there, but I praise to the team. If we lose, I need to go back to the drawing board if I wasn't putting my players in the right spot to win.
That's right. Yeah.
That's how I live it. That's that Belichick mentality. Where it's that's how I take it on. It's I don't need no praise. I don't need any praise. I'm sorry, I got kind of hood with it. I don't need any praise. I don't need anybody to validate me, bro. I know I'm dope. I know I'm a dope artist. I know I'm a dope operator. I know I'm a dope marketing specialist when it comes to my food business. I know I'm dope at what I really know that. I wake up and I wake up with so much enthusiasm. You ask my fiance, I wake up and run out of bed. I'm up.
Damn.
I'm up.
I'm him. That's what he said.
I'm him. I'm not them. I'm not them.
Yeah, I'm him.
I'm him. Now I'm just talking crazy. But seriously though, it's I don't need validation. I don't want it. Y'all can keep it. How much more praise do y'all need? That's my. I'm about to make shirts. How much more praise do y'all need? Question mark. I'm gonna send you one. I'm serious. I'm
with that.
I'm really gonna print them. I want everybody. That's gonna be the new slogan. But yeah, you gotta have. I think this goes into, and I think I'm getting into a little.
It's all good. Tangent. That's what we're here for.
I think confidence is important. Me and my buddy Adam I was talking about earlier, we have conversations about this a lot, about confidence and how important it is to be confident in yourself and validate yourself. When you have a podcast, your podcast is dope, bro. When you have a clothing brand, when you have music, whatever you're doing, you're good at it, and you don't need anybody to tell you you're good at it. I knew I was good in 2012 before Netflix put me on the show. You know what I'm saying? If some people wait till Netflix or whatever validates you now I'm dope. No, I've been dope. Y'all just sleeping, but I've been dope. And that's kind of my mindset. I've been dope.
Well, it goes back to the music too. Yeah. That's what makes the music great. And that's what makes the music consistent. is having that mindset, that mentality of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's one thing that's like that gets to artists a lot of times is when you start to get that disbelief in themselves. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, it's like some stuff might lack and stuff might drop a bit, but it's a mentality to understand, be like, that's okay, because with that downfall is an uproar in it, right? So it's going to be like that, you know? That's fine, you know? Yeah. Minor setback for major comebacks.
It's crazy because with music, I realized that it's not about the music. Sadly, it's not about the music. It's just about the platform. So like, I don't know if who's like an influencer, like Kylie Jenner or somebody, if they took one of my songs and posted it on their story, it'll be up.
Yeah.
Like people be like, damn, this is dope. It was always dope. Yeah. It takes, sometimes you just got to find your platform to show it to the world.
Right.
There's a fan base for everybody, bro. There's artists that I might not like at all, but they have a big fan base because there's a fan base for everybody. Every style of music serves a purpose.
Oh, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I just saw a clip literally this morning. Do you remember the R&B artist Maya?
Yeah.
I mean, Maya, you know, who don't remember Maya? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Bro, a lot of people don't know this, but she's never stopped making music.
Oh, she's dope, bro.
She's been making music.
Touring and everything.
Everything.
She looks hella young.
Yes. But what's crazy is that people assume she dropped off or assume that she stopped just because she hadn't been in the public eye necessarily so much. But it's like, bro, she's been making music to her fan base and she's catering to her fan base.
And she's winning.
That's her base. You know what I'm saying? So it just, I thought about that because when I saw that clip, I was just like, damn, that's true. Like, you have your base, and some people might rock with it, some people might not, but at least you have the base. You know what I'm saying?
We did a show a couple years ago with Ryan Leslie. Ryan Leslie, because he's from Stockton. Like he's not from Stockton, but he went to high school in Stockton. And he talked about, his management team talked about how you only need 1,000 true fans to be successful.
Yeah.
If you have 1,000 people, not 1,000 followers, because that's not.
Yeah, it's different.
But if you have 1,000 people that are willing to spend $100 on you a year, you're a 6-figure artist off 1,000 people.
Oh. I mean, speaking about the money thing, that's a bar that I don't know if you heard the song with Big Sean and Freddie Gibbs. They go. Big Sean goes, $1 million, million followers. That's not the same.
Yeah, no,
that's not the same.
No, it's not. Like, the followers don't mean nothing. I know people with 50,000 followers that's broke. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
and that's no roast at all. I'm not saying I'm not saying anything, but it's like that don't matter. It's a vanity metric. It feels good to look at, but what does it mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
What does it really mean? Blue check marks and all this stuff. What does it mean?
I mean,
like, it's dope.
Now you can buy one for like $8.99.
Oh yeah, on Twitter,
right?
Yeah, my boy Elon.
Yeah, that's like a thing for that one. But let me ask you this too. I'm curious with this one too. So, give me and this could be whatever metric you think or whichever way, whether it be music, culinary, business, creative, right? Who are 3 people that you would say like are mentors or people that you look up to? And I'll tell you mine.
Yeah, let me kick it off.
Okay,
kick it off.
3 people that I look up to and different spaces and everything, but there are a few mentors of mine. One of them was always my grandfather. Unfortunately, he passed away earlier this year, but he was always a mentor of mine because I looked up to him for. He was like the epitome in my mind of like being. And I know your father passed away 2007, right?
Yeah.
And so he was the when I thought about a dad and a father, a provider, a worker, a guy that just took everybody in, who had the biggest heart, who had the thing of a family man. He was that one person that I looked at and that assisted me, literally gave me a roof over my head, my whole family for years. And I went into him for just advice, life advice, whatever it is, that was my guy. I have him tatted on me.
That's dope.
So that's number 1. Number 2 is Charlemagne. Charlemagne the God. Dope. Charlemagne the God.
He be wilding sometimes.
Yeah, he be wilding. He be going on some shit. But one of the reasons why he's been a big mentor of mine is because I like to see the growth when you see a person that's been, maybe was this way when it comes to like the antics and whatever it is, to see where he's at right now. It's beautiful to see because I'm like, bro, I feel like that's like the same way with my life being from when I look at myself when I was 20 as opposed to being 30 in that short, in 10 years, how much I've grown, you know what I'm saying? So whether it be the growth part of it, whether it's being, an advocate for mental health, whether it's entrepreneurship or just building a network, the Black Affairs Podcast Network.
That's dope.
He's definitely one of my mentors up there. And another one that I would say too, that ironically, is the Russell. And
he's
he's
dope,
been,
bro.
and it's more recent than the other two. Like the other two have been like for years.
For years.
He has been more recent just because
he's a beast, bro.
Yeah,
he's a workhorse,
a beast. But one thing that I really did appreciate from him and a lot is I can feel what he's coming from being with this independent route. I feel what he's coming from when he talks about taking the chances, and when he talks about losing out on stuff, when he talks about betting on himself and everything. That was literally has been me on this too. I've lost out on a lot of stuff. I'm doing this shit independent, and I've been betting myself with me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And within that too, I remember when we had we did the episode here, and I went out to shows and everything too. Show love, really. Yeah, that's really what it was. Amongst being separate as a fan and everything. I had a few people because he's getting up there,
No, he's going up there.
A few people have been like, bro, like, do you even talk to him? Do you even remember him? I mean, obviously I remember him. I was like, I'm sure he does. I get the validation when I see him, and he remembers me by my name and everything. Yeah. Oh, what's up, bro? I was like, oh man, and we chop it up a little bit and everything, but he actually remembers me, and he remembers me on a first name basis. That's like a validating thing for myself. You know what I'm saying? So I would say those three right now.
That's dope. That's a good lineup, man. I think mine would segue the same way. I think one of the biggest North Stars is my father that did pass away. I think he was literally like everything that I think I am today. He was like probably like 10 times that, you know what I'm saying? He was a workhorse, bro, like a worker. Never heard that man complain about nothing, man. Yeah. Like, no matter what was going on with him, just working, a hustler, you know what I'm saying? A true hustler. And I've embodied that in certain ways into just my get up. So
you can see it, yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So my dad for sure. And of course there's a lot more family people as well. But my dad, I think as we have one from family. I think with the culinary side, with the food truck and the veganism, it would be the Pinky Cole I talked about from Slutty Vegan. Yeah. I think her story, if it wasn't for me being in that right space at that right time, watching that podcast, and she happened to be on that podcast, and her saying what she's saying, I don't think I'd even be talking to you here right now. I'd probably be still working my 9 to 5. You know, never took the chance to like quit and like really dive into this industry. Right. So I think that, I give her a lot of praise. She's dope, bro. She's opening like a new restaurant every week, bro. She's like a beast,
That's
bro.
Dope.
She's
That's
insane.
Dope.
If you really follow her, bro, she's insane. So a lot of props to Pinky Cole. And then third, man, if we go like a music route, I like the business, the business and the way he conducts himself. J. Cole, I think that's one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, I'll show you. He's right here actually.
Yeah, so J. Cole is dope because I just like his whole aesthetic now, like how he even dresses. Like he comes up in some joggers, some Crocs with his locks, and I just feel like when we talk about that validation and things, like he's not necessarily like wearing 20 chains and he's so successful as an artist, and you wouldn't, and he could walk past you in a Starbucks and you wouldn't probably even like think it. You'd be like, oh.
One of my favorite bars that he did when the LA Leakers freestyle he did is when he said, he goes, used to be bummy, now I'm still bummy. The difference is now it's by choice.
Exactly.
Oh man, that shit was a bar. He's like, I keep it humble. My closet like Dover Street. Used to be bummy. Now I'm still bummy. The difference is now by choice, man.
Come on, man. What did he say about? He said he had a bar about the Camry too.
Oh yeah,
he said,
he was Ferrari or Camry. I bet I look good on them both.
Yeah. No, I mess with Cole. I think there was a lot of times in high school when I be like walking into school or riding the bus, and like a lot of his early stuff really like got my mind set. I think I've learned a lot about being a man, about the pursuit of like relentless perfection from a lot of the hip hop artists I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? Like when like it was a stage where it was like the Wale's, the Kendricks, the Coles, and when ASAP just came out, it was like that. That's when I was in school, and that those guys really like helped push me to like love art and to push me to be just a better man in general.
I first got into Cole 2011. I was living in Georgia at the time.
That's dope.
And one of my homies, Bell, shouts out Bell, he's from North Carolina.
That's dope.
And so he's the one that actually put me on him. And my homie Stewart too, he was from Boston Stewart. And he showed me that Friday Night Lights.
Oh, that
and
was
I was
hard.
just like, oh, okay. I actually got my favorite song from J. Cole of all time is Love Yours.
Oh,
I
bro.
love that song. I love that song. I got it tatted on me right here.
That's dope.
That's my favorite song of him of all time. Yeah.
Love Yours was hard, bro.
Yeah,
I think
man.
he has some ones, and he talks about a lot of stuff, and I think some of the generation isn't ready for some of the content he puts out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the things he talks about, people think it's just boring or it's not. They just not there yet.
Yeah, not
you
yet.
But when you grow up, man, I'm tired of like
The same
right? thing. I'm tired of waiting for opportunities. I'm tired of like complaining about things. And then I think a lot of his music has like pushed me to like, let's go get it. Let's make it happen.
That's a fact.
We got these traumas. We got these things we're dealing with. What are we gonna do about it?
Yeah. No, exactly.
What are we gonna do about it?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's a Steve Harvey thing. He says like, or I don't know if it's Steve Harvey or E.T. Thomas. They talk about like, you already in hell. Why stop? Like you already in pain. You hurting. Like you under pressure, the fire, the whatever. You gonna just stop and sit there in that, or you gonna like you might as well get a reward for what you're going through.
Right.
So like push through.
That's true.
So that's kind of like that's my three.
Amazing.
And those are the people I really look up to, man. It's a rigorous game, man. It's crazy, and
that's a good list.
I appreciate that, man. I don't talk about. I don't think I talk about like I said, the accolades and like the processes enough. I'm gonna start doing that a lot more. That's why I'm glad I'm here and I can say things on here because I feel like there's a lot of things we can cut up and like share with people. Like they can get a better insight on both of us and our mindsets and like also like just some motivation. Yeah,
and I think there's a lot of positives to take away from this. But I also think this. I always tell people when it comes to these episodes, man, and I just recently am trying to tell more people. It's like this by the time this will be episode 107. I was like, those are 107 different times you guys could have got gems from. It's whether you tune in or not. So with this one, this is gonna be one of the ones where people are gonna thank you. Yeah, this is gonna be one of the ones where it's gonna be like don't sleep on it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of good information, and you never know. Like the same way you stumble upon a podcast,
somebody else will.
Someone else might also stumble upon this one, and it might activate something from them in the long run. It don't even have to be next week, bro. It could be 6 months from now. They might watch this one and spark something in that, and next thing you know, they're starting something that they wanted to venture off.
Even if it's just one person, I think that, like I said, it's just the impact. Like you can have 1,000, 10,000, 1 million views on something, but if you have something that's impactful enough to make people move and do what they got to do, even if it's only one person, I think that's a bigger win.
That's amazing.
So yeah,
that's amazing.
We're gonna get it though, man.
We're gonna get it, man. I appreciate that, bro. Man, thank you again. A lot of gems on this one. A lot of gems.
I hope so, man.
I hope to have hopefully return guests, in the future.
Let's get it.
I'll pull up over there too. I've done mobiles, so I can pull up over there.
Let's do it.
I definitely look forward to
let's go to
networking,
LA.
working. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's go to LA.
Let's do that.
Come check out the truck. We have a secondary truck in LA with that brand I was talking about.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to maybe in the next couple of months come out and we can talk out there.
Perfect.
Maybe have Blowing Smoke come up there too.
Yeah.
Do like a little crazy thing.
Love it. Yeah, we could definitely collab on that. Well, again, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you very much for liking, comment, sharing, subscribing, tuning in for everything.
Smash that subscribe button.
Carlos Bryant, my guest, man. Check him out. Reach him out on Instagram. You want to shout out Instagram?
Yeah, Carlos Bryant 209 on all platforms. And you'll find everything there. Or you can go to www.carlosbryant.com.
And we'll put it right here.
Yes.
So y'all check in, okay? Thank you again, man. Thank you to my guest. Y'all stay safe. Peace.